Going on vacation this summer? Well, if you are, then the last thing you want to deal with is back pain or even leg pain. Joining me now is Dr. Cecil Graham, Medical Director of our sponsor, AZ Pain Centers. And he is here to talk about summer vacations and back pain. Welcome back.
Hi, Andy. It's good to be here.
Good to see you. Are you one of those guys that if you sit on a plane for a long period of time or if you're driving cross country, you feel it?
Well, I think everyone's experienced that dead leg kind of feeling, you know. A lot of time when you put initial pressure on a nerve root, it won't necessarily end up in pain. It's kind of like the analogy of your water hose and you're squirting water and you all of a sudden squeeze it, everything distal to that stops.
Right.
So whenever you do that to a nerve root that supplies the whole leg, you'll not only lose feeling, you'll feel numb, but you lose motor function also. You know, people always are, you may not have seen this, but I have. People will jump up literally on a dead leg and snap their ankle.
I had a friend in high school that broke her leg.
Exactly.
Because, well, we always say that it's your leg falling asleep. That's
right.
Sort of what
and
it is,
and
right?
that's what it is. If falling asleep, it's like anesthetizing it. You put pressure on a nerve and it just loses all electrical activity for a period of time.
Well, I know you brought some pictures to sort of help. That always helps.
Well, and this shows, you know, the sciatic nerve. Everyone knows that it's you know, basically a pain in the butt when they say sciatica. But it's three nerve roots that come off of the spine, and they form just as they exit the spine, and then it goes right down through the middle of the hip and down the leg. So anything that puts pressure on those nerve roots as they exit the spine, or mechanically in the sitting position, that kind of thing, it can put pressure on that nerve root on down in the hip joint as it exits the pelvis and goes down into the leg, so anywhere along that distribution. This slide here shows basically all the different things that can happen as a nerve root leaves the spinal column. Degenerated disc, bulging disc pushing back. The difference in a bulging and a herniated disc, you see that looks a lot bigger. In a herniated disc, the actual center, the middle, the nucleus of the disc ruptures out. And then layman's term, bony spurs, everyone's heard that, we call them osteophytes. But you can see anything that would put pressure as a nerve root exits that canal, it can affect the whole distribution all the way to your foot.
Now, what do you say if someone's sitting here? I would hope someone doesn't have every single one of those things, because that would be really bad. But I would think a lot of that is common, and it might keep someone from wanting to go on vacation or going water skiing. Should they just forget about it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, that's what we do. We always try to go after the cause of the pain. If someone comes to us and they're experiencing pain that goes down the hip and the leg, we always try to go after the cause. So if they come to us and they've already had all the workup and we have an MRI or something that shows where the problem is, we know exactly what we're going after, or we don't hesitate to work up the problem, you know, as we see it. If they come in, we evaluate them. If we think we need to do some more studies, we do that. But we always try to approach where the pain is originating and suppress it at that point.
And I don't think people should ignore it, too, because if they ignore it, it could be a worse problem if they get in their car and drive, you know, 6 hours to San Diego.
You know, we always want people, I mean, I don't care who you are, whether you're a 20-year-old or a 60-year-old, you constrict blood flow when you sit for a long period of time. So on a drive, roughly every hour and a half, 2 hours, you need to get out for a few minutes and walk around. In the plane, most common, if you're taking a 5-hour flight, there'll be a period of time when the seatbelt light is off, and it's always good to get up and stir around. Another problem people can have on long flights, they'll develop a blood clot in their calf, and I don't know if you've heard about that,
definitely.
But people, you know, a few hours after a plane flight will have a blood clot break loose from the leg, go to the lung, they'll have a big pulmonary embolus. I mean, sudden death can happen from that.
I know my dad doesn't like to fly because he's so fearful of that.
Exactly. You have to just get up and move, get the circulation, and prevent that pooling of the blood in the lower extremities.
So I think the good news is you can go on vacation, and you should also make sure that you check in with AZ Pain Centers so that you guys can get them just how they need to be before they go on those trips.
Absolutely.
All right, and also we should say that you guys accept most insurance plans, so that's also very important. There you go, Valley-wide locations. Call 480-821-PAIN to schedule a consultation, azpaincenters.com. And AZ Pain Centers is a sponsor of Sonoran Living Life. All right, up next, we are heading back.